Thank you. Doesn't say.
Where you going, Gene?
Here we go.
I'm coming home from Connersville. I've been at a graduation party.
Oh, that's right. You said
All
you're
right.
gonna be doing it.
You finally graduated,
I don't know
huh?
how well it would work in the car, but it looks like I'm on. So
You are like,
did
you
Rick
are good. I
Rudolph
mean,
know he was going to have some kind of surgery?
say that again.
Tom,
No,
Down,
that's going
Gene.
down. All right. See what that does.
Okay. Hang on a minute, Gene. Becky. Oh, I just lost her.
See if we can talk to her. Are you still there, Jean?
yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, good deal. Doesn't need to be loud. We're trying to get this adjusted. I got a new camera. My other one blew up.
Becky, talk to us.
Here I am.
Here I am.
There you go. Yeah.
Didn't have the volume up.
Oh, yeah. Hang on. Yeah, we got ours too loud, I think. Well, no, that's not it. Okay, let's see what that does. Talk to us again.
Hello.
Oh,
Hi.
that's good. You can talk to us. Okay. Gene,
Testing.
Gene, how can you be so good where you can do this in your car?
Well, I just hit the thing and the Zoom came up and it came out okay. So I might lose you. I'm down by Connersville. So
Okay, and you're well, you have this on your phone, I would assume.
yeah.
Wow,
Did,
you are
did
good.
Rick
You are.
know he was going to have some kind of surgery, or was that
Oh
unexpected?
yeah. Oh yeah. I guess I didn't tell everybody. Yeah, it's been at least 2 weeks. Maybe I didn't. You know, that would have been like halfway in between the last Zoom call and this one. So it was about 2 weeks ago. There's Jimmy Hoke. That you know what? I think I sent something out about it. You know, that he wanted
You
me.
might have, maybe I've read it and forgot it. I don't know.
Yeah, he wanted me to tell everybody, and then I did. And then I called him like the day before he was going to go in. And why didn't I get them here? Okay, Bob Van Pelt, I admitted him. And so in fact, I talked to him several days before because I was trying to talk him out of. I wanted him to go get another opinion. You know, because based on what he told me was wrong with him, it didn't sound to me like they would necessarily have to crack him open to do it. And I thought that there were newer, less invasive ways of fixing what he had with a problem he had. But he went ahead with it, and he did it down in Florida, and that would have made me nervous also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so anyway, Elaine, okay. Okay, are we gonna get, you gotta be kidding me, are we gonna get Elaine Norton? Who are we getting?
Lane Norton.
No, it's Elaine's iPad,
Really late.
and she's connecting to the audio, or she. But anyway, so he went through with it, and he said that he would have Sherry set it up to send us a message on how things went, which she did.
One message.
The night after he had his surgery, that evening, but then never heard another word. And so then I got nervous. After a week, I called his cell phone, left a message. And so then 2 weeks go by or more. And so then I called Bob Van Pelt. I called Rick's number again and his home number, and both of their voicemails were full. And so Bob Van Pelt went out on it, and he started tracking it down.
There she is.
And then lo and behold, I got a message last night.
Yeah,
So
fine.
Bob, thank you, Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
Oh, you bet. Yeah, yeah.
Hi, Elaine.
I got a hold of,
Can you hear me?
I got a hold of his
Yeah,
son,
you're
Chandler. Tommy, and I think that's what prompted the thing.
Who did? You got a
I
hold
got
of
a
who?
hold of Rick's son, Chandler,
Okay,
Good.
and then I think he got a hold of his mother. Yeah.
Sid,
perfect.
How can I get everybody on here?
Okay, are you on, you're on an iPad?
I'm on it. My son bought me this iPad Air and I
Yeah,
haven't been
yeah, that's a
on
good one.
Zoom.
Okay, go up in the top left-hand corner.
Left
Up
or
there
right?
it says record.
yeah,
No, you don't want to record. You want to top, now there should be, in one of the corners, there should be a little box and it says speaker view.
Well, on the right hand, it says, it has a little dot there. I don't know what that is.
Hmm.
Then it says record.
No, you don't want to do that.
Now I'm down in the corner in this little box with a plus and a minus.
Is there a one that's squared off, Elaine, that says gallery view?
No, I only see your name.
My name? Hello.
Hello.
You don't see me at all? I got my
Your name.
camera fixed.
I know who you are. Okay, let me see. Yeah, I don't have very many choices here. And this is supposed to be a great iPad, but
It is, it
it
is.
is.
Yeah, it is, because I
It
got
is
one.
for an apple.
let me see what this does. Oh, there we go. All I had to do was hit the, well, I hit the plus and a bunch of people popped up, but you're on the
Okay.
screen behind. Oh, there you are. Well,
Okay,
I've got one
Thank
row of people.
Okay,
No.
only one row.
I've got you guys, Becky and Jean. I don't know. Let me see what else happens
maybe you
here.
have to roll down. I don't know. I don't know if you.
I don't know.
There's
I
a
don't know what's
gallery
going
view,
on.
Gallery?
gallery. You want
It
gallery.
doesn't give me, well, that nothing comes up, Jim, that says gallery.
Anything
Well,
about
say-
scrolling across her screen?
Mine says participants.
Well, it says recording.
Mine
That's
just has
all.
dots and I touch the dots. It just has like dot, 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 dot.
Touch the
touch it.
dot. Oh, there it is. Okay, now. What am I looking for now? I got
Well,
a dot.
if
People.
if it says speaker view, just click on it, and it'll switch it to gallery view.
All it says is participants.
Okay,
Then
hit that
you
one.
Let me
Sure.
hit that.
Click that.
If you hit participants, it'll show everybody.
I hit participants. Do I say
Okay.
invite?
No.
Mine just
Well, I
went
wonder
dark.
why it says participants, but it just gives me that one row of people. Let me look up more. Meeting settings. I can raise my hand.
Harvey.
Oh, you're down at the bottom.
Harvey.
Down at the bottom are the little
Harvey's at the
pictures.
bottom.
I'm there.
Hey, Harvey.
Let me try this again.
Speaker. They can hear.
Share content. Oh, wait, there, it's on the, clear on the other side now. I got it.
There.
Don't tell anybody I worked in IT, I'll tell you. There you go. Oh, there you are.
So did you get it? Does it? Do you have everybody now?
I have everybody.
All right.
Yeah.
All the important people are here.
Okay, that's good.
That's fine.
So,
You
hey,
know
do
what?
you remember Jimmy Cole?
Oh, yeah.
You guys were pretty close in school, weren't you? He was in our
Oh.
class, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, he was in our
Yeah.
class.
Aaron's coming.
Okay, I'd heard from him a few months back and I thought I remembered him being in our class, so
Where does
Yeah.
he live?
I forget where he lives now. I'll have to look that up again. But
Yeah, if you could send that on to Gene, that would be, where does, I mean, he doesn't live in Richmond.
no, he does not. And
Okay. Okay.
I thought, well, I've got his email, I believe, and I'll just send that on.
Send that on to, well, send it to me. Maybe I've got it. Maybe I have it.
That's why I was wondering if you had it.
Okay, I must have it.
Hmm.
Jimmy Cole, let me look real quick. Yeah, because sorry, you guys, but this is the last big thing that we've got to do is find people.
Jean Pugh, did you get my last email?
Yes, I just saw it. I've been at a graduation, but I did just
Okay,
see it.
okay,
yes.
just checking.
Sharon, I'm gonna send you a new picture so you have a big cow right behind you.
There's several of them, yeah.
Yeah.
You can hardly see those guys behind you.
Yes, I do have Jimmy.
I'll get
I
out of the
don't-
way so you can see them all. I took that
Yeah,
picture
they're-
a couple
they're
days ago.
Glasses.
Love it.
Sorry, I gotta get my
Oh.
glasses.
So Elaine, I've got Jimmy Cole's email and it's evidently going through.
Oh, good, okay.
And is it true that he married Pat Richardson?
He dated her in high school.
I think the way.
They
he
were
was
married for a
talking-
while, but divorced now.
Oh, okay, maybe so. I don't know. Anyway,
I
I had a
believe
note
he's-
about,
I believe he might be divorced now. I'm not
Okay.
sure.
anyway, we've got him on our email list. So
Okay.
So he's not kicking back. Now, I will tell you one thing, Sharon. I just, for the first time, I had it kick, Marshall Snyder kicked back this last time. And that's Linda Cote, I think. So that usually is not a good sign.
Okay, I'm sorry, who was it?
The email address is marshallsnyder@windstream.net, but it's Linda Cote.
Okay,
Was that
So,
her married name? I mean, that was her maiden
Linda
name.
Cote, Cote is her maiden name,
Maiden,
and
right.
Snyder.
Yeah,
She was married to Marshall Snyder,
she was at St. Mary's.
and she
Okay.
lived out in Texas. And so since that kicked back, I don't know, Sharon, if maybe you could,
I'll see what I can find out.
yeah, so that's that one.
Okay,
You get the email this morning. I emailed you those pictures of those updates.
Yes. And I was wondering,
I'll send those to the rest of the committee. For some reason, the program I typed it on, I can't get it to forward direct, so I just had to print them and take a picture of them, and I'll email them to the whole committee.
Yeah.
you don't happen to have a scanner, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay, because
I could scan them at church Monday and send them to you.
that would be better, and I'll tell you why. And I've learned this the hard way. When you take a picture of something and send it to people, it can, when you try to print it, it comes out real big. So you have to go in and say print, and then you have to,
Go
I have
down,
to
yeah.
reduce it to like 40%. And
But
so
I
that I
will
can,
say that the ad in the Western Wayne News, got us some information, some people calling, and my kids were freaking out that I posted my phone number in the Western Wayne News. No biggie.
Error number one.
so were they ready to kill me, or did they get on you?
No,
about it?
they just said, Mom, what's the idea of posting your phone number in the whole Western Wayne News?
Yeah.
I said, well, probably half of Wayne County has it already, so I'm just making sure everybody else does.
Yeah,
Everybody knows you anyway, so
Now,
what's the difference?
I want to go on record here, you guys. I asked Jean before I did it. I said, Jean, are you sure? She says, oh yeah, everybody knows me in town
Yeah,
anyway.
that's Now they know where to find her.
And that's true, Tom. Everybody does know Gene.
Yeah,
That's why she's in her car.
yeah.
But I think the people I've talked to, I think people are excited about getting together again, and I get calls from different ones. Oh, I thought of this person, or I found somebody like Hirschfield. Delane or Dosie's granddaughter goes with their grandson.
Wow.
Now, the thing of it is, have any of them committed to coming?
Yeah, some of them have, and like I said, we got the actual form from Nancy Dietrich,
Okay,
and I know Delane's coming, and pretty sure Marilyn Cottingham, and as we just kind of talked to them, I think they're excited about coming.
okay,
And
so.
Sherry Duncan is gonna come, Jean. Sherry Duncan that I sent you this morning.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's coming. She will come. She was in Dayton.
oh, okay, yeah.
is
So-
there some form that's been sent out
Is there,
Not yet.
Pardon?
I was gonna kind of update you on this whole thing, so how we're finding people.
Some of them, all we have is an address, so I'm gonna have our church secretary come up with an invitation similar with the information that we can actually just mail out.
Okay.
To the ones that we only have an address for.
Okay, cool.
Okay, good. So here's the deal. I did create, and I pretty much finalized the flyer, which is basically an invitation also. And it has on it, just like about everything you could need to know. It has on it at the top, what happens Friday, what happens Saturday, what happens Sunday, how much things cost, if they cost anything. And then it asks for a bunch of information, to update our records on their contacts.
But it doesn't say to send me.
Jane Ann's all, now, of course, now that, the accountant's CFO here, she's already worried about, well, yeah, but it doesn't say anything about sending money or how we're gonna get our money. I'll figure out how we're gonna get our money. But
I'll
anyways,
stand at the door and collect it for you.
Okay,
yeah. So,
You don't-
But I'd like it sent in before that. I mean, it would be nice because some
Yes.
people at the last minute change their mind, then they don't pay.
Yeah.
So it'd be good if we could get it before.
You're right.
yes.
You're exactly right.
You
Yeah.
should say, please return to Jean with your check.
okay, well, then I'll change it.
A certain
That's
date.
why I haven't sent it. I haven't emailed. So Jane Harlan has put together her non-Richmond MIAs. She's got a list of 40 some after we went through it. It started with 64 and the steering committee met last Wednesday and we went over everything. And when they looked at that list, they picked off a bunch of them that they already knew or knew how to get in touch with. So it got down to 40. Jane has that. She put together a MIA task force. She's divided up the names for people. And so each person on her task force has 3 people to go after. She has the 50th reunion, my version of the 50th reunion, Sharon, that I'd sent to you a long time ago, that has all that stuff in it where people changed and all that. So that whoever, when they go to find those people, they'll be able to look them up and whatever information they have, that's how they'll try to get in touch with them. So that's in motion, that's going. Jean, Vicky, and Sandy are on top of the Richmond MIAs. And then I'm hoping this afternoon at 4:30 after this call, I'll be talking to my IT guy about a fillable form if we're going to do it. If we can't do it, if it's going to take too much trouble, then I'll still revise this one more time. And I'll put in there, send us your money.
Yeah.
And then I will send it out probably tomorrow to all of the email people. So Jane Harlan's MIAs, those will either be phone calls, and if they don't get contact by phone, then they will mail. Well, one way or the other, they're going to mail something, but they're only going to do it once. That's a one-time shot. We either get them or we don't. Richmond MIAs, I'll leave it up to you guys, how hard you want to go after them. On the email people, I'll send this out tomorrow, and then I'll send it out again. If I don't hear from people, I'll send it out again the first part of July, and then that'll be that. So that's how we're dealing with that. Any questions?
Sure, and put an address as to where you want that check sent.
Yeah, it's all going to go to Jean.
Okay, I don't have that
Jean
address.
gets
but-
everything. Jean
Okay.
gets
Hey,
It's all in one spot.
everything.
when are you
Yeah,
gonna go on to the Bahamas?
Yeah.
She gets
Jean, we are,
all the
it not
money.
only has, it not
Cruise
only
is
has
scheduled, Karen.
it has Jean's email address,
A real address.
her, and her
A
real
real
address, her home address, and it even has her picture.
You want my address?
Yeah, from the time she was arrested.
1617 Peacock Road.
Oh, I've
Yeah,
got
you
it.
got it.
No, I got it.
Okay. I thought you did. I'm driving, so I've got road noise and I had you on mute. I wasn't sure what you
Yeah.
said.
Yeah, no, that's no problem. So anyway, that was the last big thing to do. the biggest thing was Sharon's job,
Yeah.
and she got that done, and now
Well,
this,
I'm passing through the list one more time.
okay, yeah,
Okay.
I knew that you were doing that.
Yeah, in fact, I have a question for everybody because there's one person, Bob knows this, that bugs the crap out of me, and that is, does anybody remember Betty Jane Corbin?
I remember the name.
Write a note.
Corbin.
Name.
Betty Jane. Betty Jane. I think I do.
Should I go
Why do
get
you
my,
ask? Why do you ask?
Well, because every time I go through the list, when I get to her, it comes up on ancestry.com that she died,
Oh,
but
well,
it seemed an odd sequence of things that she married very shortly after we were out of high school to a guy named, and I guess it's the name, I have to, Ike Leroy Scroggins. From somewhere down by Madison. Madison's at the south, down by the river, right?
Yeah, right on
Yes.
the Ohio River. Yeah, yeah.
mhm.
And then it looked like her life got pretty hard and she died. He died first, she remarried, and then, you know, I'm just tracking through all the various certificates. And she died of just about everything, of COPD and anemia and
Wow.
kidney failure and a whole bunch of things in
Gosh.
2010. But it's the only Betty Jane Corbin that comes up on Ancestry for that period of time for anybody in Indiana. But it sort of looks like she was originally from Madison and ended up marrying this guy back down in Madison. You know,
Oh.
it's tempting to say, yeah, it's got to be her. But another way, I think, I don't know. There's
Yeah, when you look at
no
her
way to
picture,
really tell.
Yeah,
Unless if somebody remembers her, remembers that, yeah, she was from Madison and went right back there as soon as high school was over.
And
I
Sherry,
don't
you
know.
said there was no picture in our class, right?
There is a picture of her.
oh, yeah,
In the yearbook.
There is a
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah.
yeah, she's very attractive young lady.
Very,
with
very
blonde hair.
wholesome looking young woman. And, you know, this guy that she married was older. And I don't know. I just can't, I don't want to actually say, yeah, I'm sure that's who that is. But on the other hand, I thought maybe somebody remembered her, or remembered that she was not, you know, from Richmond, because a lot of our, you know, kids in our class were born somewhere else and came here during grade school,
Moved in or
junior high, or
something, yeah.
whatever.
Let me see something here. Let me see if I've got her on the MIA.
Hey, you know, as we're talking, I'm thinking there were a bunch of people from here that went down to Madison, hung around the riverboat or on the river down there. And Gary Wiggins, our ace in the hole, was one of those guys. So if I talk to Gary, I may ask him, because some of those people were, you know, all the way through our class and 10 or 12 years older. But there was a gang of them that celebrated holidays. Somebody had a cottage down there, or a family owned a cabin or something on the Ohio River.
Hmm.
I'll check with Gary and see, Sharon, if he's got a memory of her at all.
Okay, that would be great. Thanks. Because every time I go through the list, I get hung up on her thinking, what in the world happened to that poor girl? So,
Yeah, we talk every now and then about,
Yeah.
you know, I got to update him on actually Rick Putoff. I'll send him a copy of those stuff we got today and maybe just ask him if he remembers her at all.
okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
because, you know what? I don't even have her on any MIA list because she is not listed in the 50th directory.
Hmm.
We lost track of her. She apparently died in 2010. From what I can tell, if it's the same Betty Jane Corbin. So we'll see. All right, that was it.
Darn. Well,
Tom, I can talk to you offline when I get through with this list again.
yeah, I was wondering, you know, if from this effort that we're making to try to find people that, if we should not send that information to you as it comes in.
It should, yeah, and I will, as I come across things, forward them either to you or straight to Jane, which would be easier. Both?
Yeah, just copy me. Yep.
Who's got
Okay.
all of it? Who has all the information? Where is the information going once you
It's-
find it?
it-
Find these people.
everybody, it's all coming to Gene,
Okay, okay,
but it's gonna be sporadic, it's
Right.
just gonna be funneling in as it
Right.
happens.
Okay.
Terrible.
Yeah, I've come across a couple people that I can trace down to a different town than what we actually had them listed at. I can see
Yeah.
something on a census listing or something that's later and they've remarried, so there's a different
Yeah,
married name in a different town. So as I come across that, I will forward it to you guys too.
okay, good. Okay. Let's see. So everybody knows about Rick Putoff.
Yeah.
He spent a lot of
Come
time in
back
ICU.
Pardon me?
He spent a lot of time in ICU, but it looks like he's
Yeah.
doing.
oh my gosh.
Yes, he has.
I
May
cannot
still be
believe
there,
it.
actually. Or-
Okay, I just can't even imagine being cracked open, having that open heart surgery, and then getting pneumonia.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He's lucky, really lucky to be alive.
Yeah.
And guys, I've been around a couple people that had that done. And to sneeze or cough
Oh,
after you've had that done,
Yeah,
it's terrible. Oh, man.
Yeah, Tom had he had a quadruple bypass
Yeah.
and
Did
the
he
hospital
get
gave
cracked
him-
open?
yes,
oh,
And
yeah.
they gave him a
Good.
pillow. Every time he'd grab that pillow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Tom, my husband did too, and they gave him a heart-shaped pillow.
Yes,
That was
Yes.
cute. Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Same way as Sam Weatherby, my buddy. Yeah, Jim's brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a fun surgery. I know that from my
Mm.
mom.
In terms of going back to the reunion update, just if you guys are interested, so we've gotten the steering committee met, went over what's happening Friday, what's happening Saturday, what's happening Sunday. What's happening, even what possibly people might want to do during the day on Saturday.
Hey, Tom, there is one thing that's changed a little bit here in town. The Model T Museum is up and running again.
Okay,
And a lady named Rachel Hughes is the curator down there now. Rachel and her husband had a restaurant here in town, right on the promenade, but that's gone now. And Rachel has stepped in, and yesterday they had all the Model Ts were out, and they're out today again, I think, celebrating Henry Ford's 160th birthday.
oh my gosh.
So they are up and running there again in the place that Jay had.
Okay. Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
So that'll be another thing that people could do. And
And
I'll
Levi-
have all of that
Levi
pulled together.
Coffin is touring, they're doing tours up there again too. I saw that this morning.
Yeah. Okay. But while I'm back to finding people, Elaine,
Yes,
you, from your memory, since you don't have a picture, if you could put together a list of all the people you can remember that were in the class of 60, that our class at St. Mary's, because you had always been interested in that.
right. I'm looking at 3 of us now.
So if you could, if you could put that together, and then you could run that by me, and then I'll see from my memory who else I can remember and so forth.
I know Bruce Scottsy. I see him every now and then, and I keep trying to convince him to come to one of our get-togethers, but I don't think he's going to come.
Okay, well, don't worry about it. Yeah, it either happens or it doesn't. That's all.
Yeah.
I've got a list also, so,
Do you?
Okay.
Good.
yeah.
And yeah, and then if you guys, you went to if you guys went to school at St. Andrews, or if you guys went to school at Holy Family and you want to put together a list, the reason we're going to do that is that, like, we could, if all the people who were there that
This
evening.
is Tom's version of Word with corrections.
We could take pictures of the group that's from each one of those schools.
We have one
So-
somewhere.
But anyway, that's a kind of a side thing, but we've figured out everything that's going to happen for Friday night, Saturday at Forest Hills, and Sunday at the brunch. By the way, the steering committee
Yeah.
met at the place for the brunch, and the place is
Okay.
really, really, really cool. I know there won't be that
Sure.
many people
Let me
around
turn
on
this
Sunday,
mute.
but for
Is
those who
there a,
are, want to come over,
Ice water out there somewhere.
it's really a neat place, really a cool place. And they have good food. The music's being taken care of.
At least Jimmy says the music's being taken care of.
We're gonna have, we've got
Not
three
doing it all.
teachers. Oh, that's another thing, Sharon, I need to talk to you about. The teachers, you and I did talk about the in memoriam, but
Right.
I've just assumed all along that, we've got all of our teachers are in the front of the Pioneer. And we know that there are 3 in Richmond who are
Yeah.
still with us. But I guess maybe there could be some teachers who moved away that are still with us. I don't know, but we're assuming that they were gone. But I don't know how hard that would be to look.
Wow.
Besides Troy Ingram, who's the other 2?
Say that again.
Besides Troy Ingram, who are the other 2?
Jim
Well,
Peters.
I asked Troy Ingram because I go to church with him,
Yeah.
and the only ones he was aware of was Jim Peters and Aileen Gibbons.
Aileen Githens and Jim Peters are the 2, and with Troy are the 3 I know.
Let 'em kids here.
I think both of them live at Friends Fellowship, but that was the only ones he was aware of.
Yeah,
Mm,
that's correct with me too, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, a number of those people they weren't youngsters like Peters and Gibbons.
England.
Yeah, they
Troy
just weren't, they weren't youngsters like those 3
Yeah.
were.
Yeah.
Is Moody still alive?
Who?
mm.
Byron
No,
Moody?
no, he's died.
No.
No, he's not alive.
Okay.
Nope. So anyway, that's,
Like,
let's see. So, so anyway, I think that everything is in play. It will be after I send out that first email with the flyer, then everything will be in play, and it's just a matter of executing. Everybody kind of
Tom,
knows.
I'm parking in my garage, so I'll be back on the video in a minute.
Okay, all right, good. So, look at that picture. Wow,
All dolled up.
man.
Talking lipstick here.
Oh, that's cute.
Okay. The one thing that I haven't figured out, I mean, we've got it figured out. Bob knows what's happening with him. Patty's going to take care of it. And on the flyer, it says, please let us know if you need transportation. But I decided that I wouldn't try to figure that out until I got the information back
Yeah.
and see how many people
Yeah,
even said they needed
yeah.
transportation before I tried to figure that out. And I just figured, well, I'll just ask people, could you go pick so-and-so up? Could you go pick so-and-so up? So I don't think it's going to be that tough.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
As a
All right.
committee, are you guys giving up on making reservations anywhere in particular
Reservation on what?
for overnight, for overnights?
The flyer will have listed 3 hotels where blocks of rooms have been arranged. And with their phone numbers, and it's up to you, when you call, you just say, I'm with the class of 1963 reunion. And
Okay.
And did you get, Tom, that there is a very nice bed and breakfast on 15th Street? It's where Ruth Shank used to live.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
And I sent her a picture, and she was nostalgic because of everything. And it's a very nice one. And we're working on getting the information on that, because that would be a lovely place for people.
Where on
It's-
how many
15?
rooms?
I sent a picture to you.
How
Tom.
many rooms?
Did you get that? I don't know. We're not that far yet, but it's big.
Oh,
It's a
Okay.
huge place.
Well, once
It's very
once
nice.
we know all of that information, I can send that out.
Okay, because I think some people might just really be interested in staying there.
Mhm.
What was that, Sandy? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
It's on South 15th. It's right next to our church, the United Methodist Church, and I go by it all the time. Well, Ruth and I, Shanks, Ruth and Hun, were friends, and we'd always. Her parents were, I think, social workers or psychiatrists or something downstairs. And she lived upstairs, and we would go up there and it had all kinds of. It was huge. The upstairs. Yeah.
Oh, where Dunn Mental Health was.
Pardon?
Where Dunn Mental Health
Yeah,
was
it
there.
was
and
a
then
Dunn House.
Centerstone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been. But they sold it and
Is it a bed and
they
breakfast
renovated it, and it's really pretty. And so Vicky knows the person who owns it, and she's gonna find out too. But she's doing mulch today, which scares me a little bit because it's so hot here. But anyway, we'll know next time more about this.
Okay,
We'll send you the
Cool.
information.
okay. Jean, I don't know if did you make final contact yet? And please don't feel any pressure if you haven't, but have you made any contact with, did you finally hear back from those hotel people? Because it seemed like it was taking forever for them to get to you.
Holiday Inn, I have some rooms booked there. The Fairfield Inn, the girl that takes care of that, every time I call, she's out and they're gonna call me back. So I am just gonna go over there and surely to goodness, there is someone who
Mhm.
can give me a rate and hold some rooms besides this one
Yeah.
girl.
And then,
Because I'm gonna be on the east side of town
yeah, so,
anyway.
go ahead.
And then the Best Western.
That's Patel and Gene at
Yeah.
Best Western.
And I don't know, what's the name of the one that was the Quality Inn out across from Red Lobster? You know, they've been several
That's
names.
back to
I
a
don't know really
Quality
much
Inn
about
now, I
Back
think.
to a Quality.
Yeah.
Inn. Okay.
Isn't there a brand new one out that way on the west side? I don't know the name, but I heard from my sister.
Just Holiday Inn Suites or something. It's a
The home
Holiday
two.
Inn Suite.
Of a rental, like if you people that are, staying in town, I haven't contacted that
Yeah,
one.
brand new one, yeah.
Kind of
yeah.
like for people that are here for working or gonna be
Right,
here. for a few
extended
months.
stay, I think, yeah.
I
Jean,
think, yeah, go ahead.
what I had, based on the information you'd given me, Jean, I only had listed on the flyer 3. Hey. Excuse me.
Push.
Fairfield Inn, Holiday Inn, and Hampton Inn.
Yeah.
So
What was the
those are
last
the
one?
3.
What was the last one?
Hampton,
Hampton Inn,
I made a reservation there already just to have it.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think we have
So-
a reservation at 3 places right now, my sister-in-law. All three. She actually, yeah, I wish she would get on because she knows a lot about what those, she's saying that a lot of them are already booked. You know, so, and the price is varying and all. She
Yeah.
booked a long time ago. And
Well, Jean, that's why Jean is on top of this. I know
That's
you've been worried about this from the get-go, Karen, but.
I'm not
Jean's
worried
on
because
top
I
of
have
it.
a room.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it. I have a room somewhere.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've had one for
But,
probably months.
Jean has made contact with these 3 hotels. I know, I don't know if any more. And we're gonna have blocks of rooms and hopefully she's gonna be able to negotiate some kind of a special rate so that when you call, you tell them who, that you're with the 1963 class reunion and you'll get the rate and hopefully there'll be a room.
That'd be great.
Oh, thank you. Now, I think that's it. Unless anybody else has any specific questions about it. There are lots of details to be taken care of, but we pretty much have a list of all the details and everybody knows who's gonna do what. So I think that's it. So now, everybody. Hey, Elaine, you have been on for a while. What the heck you been doing?
Oh, I've been having a lot of fun. I had a knee replacement and I was doing very well with my rehab. And then all of a sudden I couldn't pick that leg up anymore. So I went back to my ortho doctor. He informed me that my hip is bad and it affected 2 of the muscles. And so I'm supposed to have a hip replacement eventually.
Oh,
So that leg's not working 100% and, but it won't until, I get that hip replacement. The other leg has already been in bad shape because I have that femoral palsy from when I had knee surgery on that one. You know, I'm just real lucky with surgeries. And, but at least I can walk. And I do plan on going back to Kroger, so
Very
I'm working
fortunate, yeah.
part-time there. Keep
Oh, so
busy.
you haven't been working recently?
No, I have not been able to. The doctor hasn't released me yet. I go next
Okay.
Friday, hoping that he'll allow me to return to work. So, because
How
I do
many
enjoy
Believe
it.
believe me, they need you. They
Well, every
need
time
you
I go
bad.
in there, I even had some customers come up and hug me yesterday, and I said, "Oh my
I
gosh!"
know.
I thought, "Oh my word!" So I'm hoping I can get back and run that self-checkout area. You know,
my-
Oh,
I'll be able to. sit
Now, how
when I
many,
need to.
how many of these customers that hugged you were guys?
Well, no, these were just a couple ladies, doggone it. I don't
Okay.
know what's going on there.
Uh-oh.
Now, I did have one guy hug me before I had my surgery, and
Yeah.
he started calling me. He's a very nice
Uh-oh.
gentleman. So, yeah, things happen.
So, I mean, with the kind of job you have, how many hours a day are you on your feet at Kroger?
Well, I usually work an 8-hour shift,
Oh, my God.
but
Wow.
I can sit whenever I need to.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm allowed to do that. In fact, right now, they'd give me anything I wanted. They've already told me that. Whatever
Yeah.
you want a special chair, you want whatever, we will give it to you. So.
That's great, yeah.
Are you the head of the?
They act like it, but yeah, it's, I enjoy it. Of course, there's, not everything's perfect, no matter where you work. So that's all I can say about that.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Elaine, you guys just had a big merger coming, don't you?
We're supposed to, but our union's fighting that.
Oh,
They're not
fighting
real
with the
happy about it. They say it's
Publix
going
out
to,
of Florida, isn't it?
yeah, it's that, well, you know the name
Publix?
of,
Oh, it's not Publix, I don't think.
no, it's,
Uh,
doggone it. You know how these things disappear?
Yeah.
It's
Go right
Albertsons and
went
Safeway.
away. And I should remember,
Wait, I
because I
think
was
Sharon
just talking
knows.
about it yesterday. But
Yeah.
yes, Kroger is supposed to do a big merger with them. And then we have also bought the Yamato building right next to us. And we supposedly bought Long John's is at the end of the lot there. So
Mhm.
I don't know, they should be starting something soon, I
expand a little
hope.
bit, yeah.
well, that's good.
Right, they need
No
to do
concrete
something.
floors. Tell them no concrete floors. I do not like those floors.
Oh, I'll
They're
tell
horrible.
you why. Well, I was over at Newcastle in their Kroger one day when I went to Indianapolis to the doctor, and they've redone their store. It's really nice over there. I was very impressed. So I didn't see my manager to tell him what I thought.
Yeah.
So,
And we
because
have
I
a new
speak my
Kroger's.
mind.
We have a new Kroger's. It's very nice. Unfortunately, the man running the place, I don't think has a brain.
Okay.
Well, that happens a lot,
I know. Yeah.
a lot,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So.
Sharon, what were the chains that you were thinking that they were trying to merge?
Albertsons and Safeway.
That's
Yeah,
Albertsons.
yeah.
Albertsons, there you go. yeah.
Albertsons and Safeway out here merged about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And that did not go smoothly, but,
Yeah.
and they're currently rebranding all the Albertsons into Safeways. So it's going to be nothing but Safeways, but it's all really bad news for us because the only grocery stores in Port Orchard are Fred Meyer, which is a Kroger's, and
Yeah.
Correct.
Albertsons and Safeway. And if that merger goes through, we've got basically one grocer who's handling everything. And I'm not a big fan of the Kroger inventory system.
No.
I'm not a
Ever
big
since
fan
they
of
put that
Kroger.
in place, there are big empty spots on the shelves from time to time, but they're making more
Yep.
money. So,
Yeah.
and that will be imposed on all the other stores, which is
Yeah.
bad. So anyway,
Hmm.
Yeah,
I love our Kroger employees. I can't
Yes.
stand Kroger management.
Yeah.
yeah, the policies, yeah.
that's true just about in all of those stores, really.
Yeah, I don't feel like they treat their people very well at all. So,
We've got a great grocery
Wow.
store here called HEB. And it started in San Antonio and well, actually started in Kerrville and then went to San Antonio and then came up to Austin, and now it's over most of the east half of the state. And from what I understand, their employees are very happy and respected. The only thing I have an objection to is they are pushing their own brand,
Oh, yeah.
which I would like to
Yeah.
see some of the national
Private label.
brands that I grew up with.
Hmm.
But prices, they have to compete with Walmart. And,
Oh, there you go, yeah.
and then we have a store that's called Randall's. That's all, I think that was Safeway to begin with. And then it's changed down to it's Randall's now. And they're high priced, very high priced. So every HEB parking lot full, Randall's parking lot not so full. So,
okay. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Sharon, I hope the heck that you don't end up with just one and it's Kroger.
I know, yeah. Well, if I'm willing to drive a long distance, we have a wonderful store called, it's part of the Town and Country. It's a local chain and it's very expensive. But I would live there. You know, if they would build an apartment over at the side, I would just live there. It's a wonderful store. They have everything. Just great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it, I think it's called Wegmans out
Wegmans.
east, that they're supposed to be the best. one of
It's
the
very
best
similar to
affordable-
Town and Country. They look just the same. Yeah.
Yeah, Wegmans. I just love that store. When I go to
Yes.
Virginia to my nephews, I always go to Wegmans. That is the
Yeah.
neatest
Oh, my
store.
goodness. I
Yeah.
didn't, I've never heard of that.
They
It's
were
great.
always
It's,
in the top, yeah, they were always in the top 5 nationally of being one of the best places to work.
Mm.
It's great.
Hey,
They have a lot of
hey, Sharon?
employees.
Sharon, do you have a QFC close to you?
No, QFC, we did, but it folded into Kroger. Kroger took it the
Yeah.
same time they got Fred Meyer, and then they closed all the QFCs. in our area.
Yeah.
Oh, they
They're
did?
gone.
Huh. No, there's one.
Yeah,
in
I
North
think
Bend, there's one
the
in
feds
Swim.
better start looking real hard at Kroger. If they're running around the country trying to buy up every store in the world of every company.
Yeah.
Man,
I know. We don't agree with everything they do. You know, they don't
Elaine, I
listen
will
to us
tell you.
anyway.
well, I'm glad to
Elaine,
hear
I
that
will
they,
tell you that you make Kroger's a happy place. You really do.
Thank
Makes a
you.
huge difference.
Thank you so much.
Your smile
The-
and help.
you know, I love our employees.
Yeah.
At our store. I just love them. They're all just real nice and I know them all and they know me and they're just great. And yet it seems like every week, oh, corporate's coming in again. And I've been there on days when corporate is there and they're walking around in these groups and they, you know, all the big wigs and they're, and they said that all they do is go around and they find fault with everything that everybody's
Yeah.
doing. Just walk around and say, this isn't right, this isn't right. It's like, almighty. Okay,
Who knows?
maybe they need to ask the customers when they come in.
Yeah, that might be.
Yeah.
I wish they would.
Yeah, yeah.
They
Maybe
need
you ought to
to.
ask the customer what that customer thinks.
Tom, do you remember a guy named Lawrence J. Peter?
No.
Wrote a book called Peter's Principle.
Oh, Peter,
Oh,
Brindle,
yeah.
Peter Brindle.
Yeah.
And some of those corporate guys get promoted beyond their.
Oh, yeah.
They fall right in there.
Yeah.
They classify as that guy.
Yeah.
Well, I bet you that Sharon and Jim Hoke had some of those kind of people at their place when they were working.
I may have been one of those people. You don't know.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that about you and Jimmy. I'm assuming that was not the case. But of course, with all the problems that they had there for a
Oh,
while.
they had a
it's like,
problem. They were great when I was there, but things went to hell when Jim and I left.
See,
Yeah.
that was the problem.
That's pretty
they
much,
left.
that's the case.
So, Jimmy, you want to give them an idea of what they can look forward to? Are we going to have any dance music? Are we going to, what's going to happen, man?
He has no idea.
So you,
Take it.
we're gonna have music. Not quite sure yet. There's gonna be, well, since we got, 3 different phases of events happening Saturday. Because there's a happy hour, there's dinner, and then there's the
Dancing.
last part.
Yeah,
The last part would be more focused on, dance or whatever anybody can do anymore. And so it'll be mostly background music for the first 2 parts. I mean,
Yeah.
happy
All right.
hour.
Yeah, I have a request, Jim. I personally have a hard time with hearing people visiting over the dinner table.
Yeah,
If
I
the
know.
music's there, I'm sure that I'm not the only one, but just an FYI.
Jim and I have already talked about that. Yeah.
Did we? Okay, I did you.
Yeah, we
Well,
don't,
not today. Jim and I have talked about this,
For months.
and the month of July, he and I will put together so that it won't all be his fault if you don't like it.
Yeah.
He and I will put together the playlist for each, as he said, each segment of the evening. And
So how
Yeah.
many songs do we have, Jim? Is it 200 and something?
what's that?
How many songs are on those recordings?
I think it was 300,
Yeah, that's what I thought. Wow.
But that's
Yeah.
just,
somewhere
that's
around there.
not even, we'll have a
Man,
lot
we-
more music than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot more.
But-
Because
Yeah,
that
we'll
was just,
save the heavy metal for dance.
Those that are
Yeah.
falling
Save it. Just never play it. Save it.
Now, Jim, you've got some classics that were in Richmond or at IU that people may not remember. One guy was called Tommy Wills, the man with the horn. And most people have not heard of Tommy Wills, but he actually was a pretty good little band. Played at the Bonfire Restaurant in Richmond and also for Quinn and Vi at the Blue Note. And I was in Tunica, Mississippi about 10 years ago. And I'm walking by a kiosk restaurant and it says, or a small restaurant bar thing, like a lounge in a casino. And it says from 5 to 8, Tommy Wills, the man with the horn.
Wow.
And I thought, I'm going to see that guy before I leave here. So I got a hold of concierge and I said, hey, I need to see Tommy Wills. And so he got us a minute together. But we were laughing about the old days in Richmond, Indiana. You've got Baby Huey and the Babysitters, Baby Huey and the Vets, and then Baby Huey's album that was just getting ready to be released, or was just released. You've got from IU, you've got Booker T and the MGs, a song called Green Onions. You've got a great guitarist named Wes Montgomery, who was there during our period of time. And you've got, daggone it, what's the other? Oh, the guy that played the Muncie 67 Club and Hollyoak in Indianapolis named Wayne Cochran.
Oh, the CC Riders.
really, wait,
And Wayne Cochran and the CC Riders had 3 stops. Their home place in Miami, Florida was a place called The Barn on the 86th Street Causeway or 76th Street Causeway, one of the two. The Hollyoak in Indianapolis, which was owned by a Greek family named George Dianopoulos. There was a bar in Muncie out on Route 67 called the 67 Club. So when Wayne and his band would come north, that's where the 2 stops they made were the Hollyoak and 67 Club, and then they head back to Florida. But Wayne Cochran and Otis Redding were from the same hometown
huh?
in Macon, Georgia. And
Oh.
both of them drove road trash trucks before they became stars.
Oh, my gosh.
There's a website that I get on every now and then, and Tom, you guys should look at it. It's called The Old Days of Indianapolis. talking about all the old stuff that happened in Indy that's now gone. And one day we were chatting about the Indianapolis Capitals and, all that stuff. So kind of a fun deal for people that are in Indiana, but it's a fun time to get on there and BS around about those old bands.
Yeah, well, this, Indianapolis has a really good history for jazz all along Indiana Avenue. And they are definitely going to be revitalizing all of Indiana Avenue.
Yeah.
And if they do that, that'll be really cool. But anyway, Jimmy knows about all the people. I don't know about that one guy you talked about, but all the others, Booker T and Wayne Cochran and, all of that. Don't worry, they'll be sprinkled in there.
Jimmy Ramey will definitely be.
Yeah, he's got Jimmy Ramey's album. Yeah, he's
Great fun.
Yeah, there'll be the music will be interesting for you all, everybody. So,
Yeah.
Okay, now, Harvey, what's been happening out there?
Not a whole lot, just cruising along, nothing special. Things are good, beautiful here today. Got out
So,
tonight, walk with a friend.
have you truly now retired? Or are you still?
I'm still a 2-day a week guy, couple days a week, and
Yeah.
had a kind of a conference I went to for a few days, but it was a nice deal at a nice place. So it's working, a couple days a week works for me, and if it works for them, I'll keep it going.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if you can keep your hand in for a couple days a week, and then they'll let you go to all the boondoggles.
Right, the boondoggles are fun, and then people at the local office and some of that stuff, I enjoy being around them. And there's a lot of young people, so it kind of keeps you a little bit with it, just being around them. I like it.
Good. Now, getting feedback from one of us, I don't know if it's me or.
I'm not here too, but just started, yeah.
Says Bob.
I bet it's me. No?
No, stop now.
Okay. Now, Sharon, bring us up to date on the garden.
There's not much going on. I mean, it's very small.
But you got it all planted.
Everything's
Everything's in.
planted, the
And
watering
growing, yeah.
system's in, and so now I'm just waiting for the weather to be decent. Has it been cold up where you are at night, Jim? It's been cold down here.
Yeah, well, it's been 50s. It's been a nice cold.
Here it's been down in the 30s at night, which is
30, wow.
not friendly
Oh,
to
gosh.
tomato plants at all.
No,
So,
come
but it's okay. So it's
Yeah.
Wow.
It's only 91 here in Dayton.
wow.
Oh,
Yes,
About the
we-
same in Richmond, yeah.
Too, it's hot.
we don't want
Yeah.
that in August.
It's 89 here right now and 35% humidity.
Yeah. Well,
It actually, I was out on the deck a few minutes ago here in Dayton and it started sprinkling. Now, it was not
Really?
one that was going to last any length of time, darn it, because we sure
Yeah.
need rain.
We need
rain
it. We
too.
need the rain.
Yeah.
60
Yeah, we're
degrees.
supposed to get 90s towards the end of the week, but our humidity here is about 30%. So
Right.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
nice.
Sharon, you said something about your watering system.
Yeah,
What
I
kind of-
put a drip watering system in my vegetable garden every year, but I have to take it out. I pull it all out in the fall and
So it
take it
doesn't freeze
apart
out,
and then rebuild it the next spring, which, kind of fun.
so
I
you
have the
own a
lazy
well?
one. I have the lazy watering system.
Aha, yes.
So irrigation, you turn the knob.
Good if you can get it.
So
We
you
have
own
a
a
drought every
well,
year. In
Sharon?
fact, it's already started. I don't think, Jim, we haven't seen rain down here maybe for 3 or 4 weeks.
Oh my
Yeah,
And
God.
there's
we
nothing in the
haven't-
forecast. We normally have a drought all summer, but I think it started already. So having a
Jeez.
watering system is important in the
We
garden.
had a
I don't
beautiful,
water anything much else, so.
beautiful lightning storm. Of course, lightning around here is not welcome,
Right.
but yeah, it was going cloud to cloud.
Hmm.
We
my
were
God.
coming home from something and there were people sitting on top of their car watching the the light show. I mean, it's
Right.
just like going to
Yeah.
4th of July.
Our temperature here right now is 90 with a 46% humidity and
Yeah. hot.
humidity. And my son, my older son says, why don't you go to, with us to Old Leander Days on Saturday? And I said, well, if I could get back, in time for this. And so we went to his house and we walked. Now it's only a mile and a half to the festival,
Ooh,
but there's no shade.
Oh,
oh,
Well,
Coming back, Eric
Mm.
and I we were devastated. So I got in the car and I called John and I says, okay, next time there's a festival up here, we will take the car. You go on the car too.
yeah.
We're taking the car.
Yeah.
And even though, as I said, it's only a mile and a half, which I do easily, but I
Yes,
do it early in the morning,
Sure.
yeah, not
Yeah.
at 90 degrees.
not at 90
Yeah.
degrees.
no,
And the
Um,
humidity, yeah.
Yeah, high humidity. I like 30s, both on temperature and humidity, but
Bob?
that,
Tom, the fun thing we have going on right now, you can see behind me, they're not moving, but we have 11 Highland cows here for the summer.
wow.
They come in for the summer?
Wow.
A friend of ours, we haven't had any cows for a couple of years, and we used to let the neighbor just run some over during the summertime because we have about 10 acres of grass that, after doing excellent pasture management for about 15 years, if you don't have a cow on it, you end up with hip-high grass real easily. So I texted a local farmer and said, do you have any animals you want to just put someplace for the summer to eat grass? And he said, well, he did. He had some Highlands he thought might look good here. So we used to raise Highlands and are kind of set up for it. So it's great fun to have them here. I'm having so much fun just looking at them out there.
Beautiful animals, yeah.
They're just
Yeah.
beautiful.
Pictures.
Yeah.
So you serenade them with your bagpipe?
I should get that. I never got the bagpipe. I have the chanter though. I would scare them to
Oh,
death. That would they would run for the hills if they heard that.
Perfect, yeah.
They don't trust me much anyway. But they are fun, because this is a new place for them. They're not used to being here. They're all young. The oldest, there are some steers. There are 7 steers and 4 heifers. And some
Wow.
of the steers are 18 months old and will be slaughtered come fall. The rest of them are younger. But this is a new place for them, so they're still figuring out what's where. And a bunch of them were
Right, yeah.
lined up along a fence line a couple days ago, and I was messing around with a chicken, washing a chicken's butt. And that's another story. I do not lead a glamorous life. Let's just put it that way. And
It's a
they
glamorous
were
part.
lined up
Yeah, that's
watching me
funny.
like, what in the world is she doing with that chicken?
You
It
were
was,
the entertainment
I
for the
looked
day.
around and thought, this is what my life has become.
Kill them if they're nice.
Wait a minute, Sharon, I don't remember you. So how many chickens do you have?
Oh, we have like 22 chickens or something like that.
Wow.
So, not, just a nice laying flock.
Okay, so.
Oh.
Are you
so
selling
you're-
your eggs?
Oh, yeah. And if we have too many eggs, we take them up and give them to the guys at the fire station. Yeah,
Well,
they pay
But
their
how
way.
many of them do you use yourself?
Eggs, well, it depends on the time of the year and how heavily they lay at different rates during the year. But I would say in a week's time, we probably sell 10 dozen eggs, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're really pretty, all the different colors, blue and green and white and brown and all of that. But occasionally a chicken gets what's called pasted up. That's another story. You have to wash their butts. So
Oh, my God.
I won't go into this. You can imagine.
Hey,
But the cows
it's
found
not,
it very interesting.
it's not TMI. It's not too much information.
TMI, yeah, there you go, Tom.
No. Well, that's
Yeah, well.
cool. Now, so what else you been holding out on us? So you've got a garden. How big is your garden? How many? Is it an acre? It's not an acre.
Oh, no. It's a little under, it's under a quarter of an acre. But it's
Okay,
still a
that's-
ridiculously huge garden.
I was gonna say, that's a good size.
Yes.
Yeah, it's big.
So do you
Yeah.
just have, do you just grow vegetables and stuff? You have flowers too, don't
It's
you?
mostly vegetables, but I put a lot of flowers in there just, you
Yeah.
know, for the fun of it.
Yeah.
It attracts a lot of bees and all of that sort of stuff.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
neat.
So right now, right now, everything's really puny. But by August, you've seen pictures of it. It's just totally overgrown and
That's
Yeah.
great.
Cool. So how many different kinds of wild animals are around your place?
well, certainly eagles and hawks, because they're after the chickens all the time. We have
Oh, they are?
Um, there's occasionally a cougar in the area, but
Whoa,
I've never seen one on this place. There are bears around, but we have perimeter fencing, so I don't see any bears on the place.
Okay.
And the little stuff, you know, raccoons, possums, weasels, river otters. We have a river otter in the creek.
Oh my gosh, that's cool.
Runs of salmon in the creek.
whoa, that's neat.
Yeah, there's
Wow.
about 5 different runs. It's a creek that's considered a shoreline in the area. So all the shoreline, it's one of the major creeks in.
Metro area, yeah.
What else do we have? Beavers, but
Fox.
none on the place.
Foxes.
You know, there are foxes around, but not in this particular part of the county.
Mhm.
Never seen one here. So Jim, you must have a lot of stuff up in your area.
Well, they just, they found a new wolf pack, which is not far from us. And we saw some scat on our driveway. We're thinking, is this wolf? And
Wow.
so, yeah, we've got the bears, the cougars, skunk, and a porcupine, but I haven't seen the porcupine. So, of course, we got millions of deer. And let's see what else. Yeah, those are the major ones. We got rattlesnakes and
Oh, that's good.
and we have,
Good thing about being on the west side of the mountains, we don't have rattlesnakes over here.
yeah. And yeah, there's 2 types of snakes that we have. One is rattlesnake, and the other is a oh gosh, trying to think of the name, popped out of my head. Well, it's a anyway, it looks exactly like a rattlesnake, but they eat mice and other little rodents running around. So you don't want to do anything to, dissuade
Eliminate
those
them, right?
snake.
Yeah.
But the rattlesnakes, of course, Carol ran into one right next to our house,
Ooh.
and she was all coiled up close to the house.
Wow.
And so, we had to decide, okay, what do we do with this snake?
Yeah.
And we didn't have a snake grabber that some people have. We ran into one person who has a garden, and she says, well, she's got a little snake grabber that she grabs, whenever she walks through the garden. She looks out for the snakes. But we finally had to dispatch it. I mean, there was no other way that we're going to handle it. So, and then I sold something to somebody, and turns out she's a snake expert. That's what we have in this area. A lot of naturalists, and they're expert in some area of biology or
Herpetology for snakes.
yeah. So I mean, so we're all the time running into, and we have people who are also search and rescue for lost animals. I mean, you can imagine we're mountainous and remote, and so people lose dogs and whatnot. And so they do search and rescue. I mean, up in the hills.
Wow.
So
That'd be
yeah.
quite a production, yeah.
Do you have a snake bite kit? or anything, like a snake bite kit? Do you have a snake bite kit or something? If you were bitten?
No, we don't.
Anti-venom stuff.
We don't.
Sandy,
Yeah,
trust
something.
me, I know Jimmy from way back. He's just gonna get out his Boy Scout knife.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
just
right.
gonna put a big axe, just start
Yeah.
sucking on it.
I'll get out my rifle and shoot it, No.
Well, the reason I brought this up is because all of a sudden, we have got, I mean, we're in
We're in a housing addition.
but we're close, I mean, we're close to woods.
And
but
the
we've got-
yards are big.
We got coyotes running around here. We've got red foxes running around here. And I
We
mean,
have
we got
foxes
get up in
coyotes.
the
here.
morning and there'll be a family of foxes running around in your yard playing. And then, and we've got, I bet you there must be 20 raccoons. I'm gonna have to start
And
trapping
they're
them.
like this. They're
Man.
huge.
Well, they've also got the
And
babies.
they got babies with them. Oh, goody.
So, man, so anyway. So I just wondered, I thought, well, gosh, here we are in suburbia.
Yeah.
And we got all these animals. I hate to think what you guys had.
Our town is not run very well, and they keep destroying habitat and putting crappy houses on them.
That's
and
why
they
you've
don't
got
get
the
that those
animals in your
animals have to
backyard.
go somewhere. They don't
Mhm.
understand that.
So, well, okay. Now, Bob, you and I spoke the other day, and then you brought something up. Can you remember what we were supposed to remember to tell them today? Do you even remember what we were talking about?
You and I?
Yeah, you and I. Yeah.
You.
Remember when I called you about Rick Footoff, and then we talked about some other things, and you said, "Oh man, there was something that you told me," and I said,
Oh, God, Tom.
I put him.
Enjoy.
I put
The
him on
answer
the
is no.
spot.
Well, one of the things that I heard this week was kind of a tragic story about Fred Goss. I don't know if that was it, Tom, or not, but
No, it wasn't. But that, yeah, I did go.
It
Yeah,
was a mess.
That was obituary in the plate.
yeah, when
Yeah,
Fred passed away, Fred's wife Carol passed away before he did.
Yeah.
And I guess Fred's son and Carol's son's name is Bill Goebel. And his dad would be cognizant enough to want him to take him to the graveyard. And the story that I got out of the information was that Fred would just lay on her grave and just claw at the ground, saying, "You got to come back. You got to come back." It was just a tragic story. Yeah. But I don't know if that was it, Tom, or not. But it's one of the saddest things I heard this week for sure.
Yeah.
As it turned out, Fred's viewing, I don't know, I think the funeral was the next day, but the viewing was on Wednesday, and Gene and I went to that. We got there a little early, and we were good because we got to just by ourselves talk to 3 of his 4 sons. And it was fun. I was talking to him about when, we played football, and talking to him about when he wrestled, all that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah.
But I will tell you, I wouldn't have known Fred if I'd run into him on the street.
Yeah.
Maybe that may be true of all of us.
If you didn't know who you were going in to see, you wouldn't have recognized him. And he's totally different than he did at Carol's funeral.
Oh, really?
Mm.
That's how I felt about Doug Allen when he was at one of was it MCL, the thing that Jane Weininger used to do the luncheon? Doug showed up, Doug Allen, and had a beard and long hair. And I looked at him twice, and I looked at my Pyarian, and I just couldn't find Doug in this thing standing in front of me. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I remember that.
Do you?
He had to tell me. I said, "Say that. Who are you now?" I couldn't believe it. He looked like some absent-minded professor.
A hermit. He looked a little bit like a hermit to me. But now that I'm saying that, I'm recalling that we actually stood up. Some people wanted to tell a little bit about their story at that particular luncheon. Of course, there was only like maybe 30 of us there and all. And I just thought, wonder if that's anything that we would want to do.
Yeah, well,
Too many
I
people
need-
and too long.
yeah,
Yeah,
I've thought of all kinds of things that we could do.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure that there's plenty of time just for everybody to socialize and go around and talk to each other and say, wait a minute,
Yeah.
I don't you might as well just say, hey, I'm sorry, I don't recognize you.
Yeah.
Although I'm thinking, gang, this is one thing.
Right.
I'm thinking that I am going to take all the pictures in the Pierian and I'm going to take it over to the UPS store and I'll have work with them and figure out if I can put together some big poster. And then Sharon, I'll get with you about how we should end up handling the in memoriam. I was thinking to put the names on another big poster.
Right. And maybe
And,
the pictures there.
Yeah, that would be pretty neat. I
Although we
think.
don't have pictures of, probably don't have pictures of all. I don't know. I have to look.
probably not.
But
There'll be some music with that too, because I've got a bunch of songs that might be appropriate if you want to have a pause to the celebration.
Mhm.
It'll be
yeah,
good.
we'll do that up
Mhm.
front.
Few
Uh,
moments of silence.
Tom, just for my information, what time is the hors d'oeuvres starting on Saturday night? Is that a 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock?
No,
Do
we're
we know-
gonna start it'll be from 6 to 7 will be an open bar and probably some kind of snacky stuff. There won't be any hors d'oeuvres, there won't be any heavy hors d'oeuvres or anything like that. And then
Gotcha.
dinner will start at 7.
Got
And
it. Thank you.
Probably
Okay.
allocate from 7 to 8:30. And then from 8:30 until 10 will just be whatever.
Socializing, yeah.
Okay, now,
As far as people recognizing people, are you gonna have name tags?
yeah, oh yeah, there'll be name
Okay.
tags, but I'm not gonna,
Not gonna do
guys,
pictures.
to put a picture on a name tag is a bear.
Yeah.
So that's why there will be name tags. But you're gonna put your own name on the name tag.
Okay,
And
Yes.
if there's a big poster with everybody's picture and they see somebody's name, and I don't recognize that person, then they can walk over to that poster and say, that's who that person is.
Bingo.
You know what I came across the other day was a name tag with my picture on it. One of our class reunions. I don't know if it was our 25th or what. And I couldn't believe I still had that thing.
I think
got
it was-
my
It's the
kid.
50th, I think. Yeah.
Was it? And it had our pictures on it. Our,
Yeah, we did that for the 30th, I know.
Was 30th?
It's in the 50th.
I couldn't remember what year it was.
Now, as far as local purchases, Tom, I think, is our Office Max closed now, Gene?
Yeah,
And the party store's closed, right?
right.
Right?
So as far as availability to find that kind of stuff here, God bless you.
We're just.
Oh,
I'm
We'll
here.
just bring it, we'll
yeah.
just bring it with us.
Yeah, I won't have any trouble getting name tags and all that kind of stuff, but I did talk to Vicky.
You got better access than we do, Tom, yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna take care of decorations. She's already figured out that she's probably gonna have to go to Dollar Tree.
That's all we got, I think, Tom.
Yeah, and she's gonna do that pretty soon, to go and
Look at-
buy the balloons now. And then go, then the day of to have them all blown up.
Right.
And that'll be a good catch because you got 4th of July coming up, so there'll be a lot of that stuff, I assume, in the Dollar Tree store or dollar stores, whatever they're called now.
Yeah.
We got
Yeah, you'd be
probably good
amazed at all the-
inventory coming.
Yeah, you'd be amazed at all the little nitty gritty details that have to be taken care of
yeah.
Yep.
to do this.
Friday night. So.
But yeah, but it's under control and Gene is taking care of everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Guys,
Yeah.
I've got to go. I've got a ton of things to do.
Okay, Sharon,
next
it
time.
is so great to see
Good
you.
to see you for a
And
change.
I'll be in touch with you, Sharon.
Okay,
Take care of the
good.
cows.
Okay.
I'll go
Yeah,
mess with
right.
the cows.
Bye.
Sandy, is there any last minute word from you?
I just so enjoyed talking to Ruth Shank Wiesner.
Oh,
Um,
oh,
Yeah.
It was just,
Sandy, I've been looking for Ruth Shane forever. And you got in touch with her now.
I got her.
Is there any chance she would come?
well, yes, she said that her sister lives in Fremont, Indiana, and lives on, I think it's called Clear Lake. And my
Yeah.
brother lives very close to her in that area. So she
Marion,
might
yeah.
visit her sister in August and then come to the reunion. And I was hoping
That
she
would
could
be
stay in the bed and
fantastic.
breakfast, you know,
Work on that.
which was her
Work
home.
on it. Okay, work
And I
on it.
loved, it was just like talking, just like old times.
It was just
Yeah.
like when,
Great.
Yeah.
it's like we'd seen each other forever. So I've got company just, and so I'm gonna get off. Have a
Okay.
good week.
Elaine,
Okay.
I'm so happy.
Gene,
Thanks,
thanks.
Gene. I'm so happy you're on. And guess what? Everybody will recognize you.
We
You
appreciate
have
you.
not changed one
She's
bit.
changed.
Yeah,
Man,
Amazing, yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like 8th grade.
yeah.
8th grade, wow.
There you go.
Okay, well, oh, that's the last thing. I know what the last thing is, you guys. I've got to get this in here for everybody who's watching. What do you think about the next month? The first Saturday falls on July 1st, which is the 4th of July weekend.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Should we put it off a week? But if we put it off a week,
it's the
that would
8th,
make it on the 8th, I think, or something.
8th of July. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. What do you think?
Well, that's what we said we'd be doing, right? If it was a
Hey.
holiday weekend, we'd go to the following Saturday.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
we'll
think
do
that's
that.
what we've done
I'll
before in
I'll
Hartfield.
remind everybody when I send
That
out
makes
the
sense.
video, this
Yeah.
recording, I'll remind everybody that the next one will be on that.
So we can all go party.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll make it closer to our August get together too.
Right,
Okay.
right.
True.
All righty.
Okay.
Guys,
Thanks.
have a
Bye.
good,
Everybody have
okay,
a good
have a
week.
great
Yeah.
rest of the
Bye.
week.
Take
All
care,
right.
guys.
Month.
Hey, Tom, stay on. I'll give you an update on Yoda.
Okay,
Okay,
all right.
Thanks for your email, Harvey, too. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you.
problem.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
good.
I'll see you. All right.
Bye.
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 Siri here. Let me know if I can help.
All right.
Siri just talked to me. I don't know why. I haven't talked to Siri.
I don't know. I can never get off of these things. Go ahead.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm struggling a little bit
I'll
right
just stay
now.
on. No, it's recording. Okay.
see that little X up there, just press it.
Well, I'm trying to. It just says recording.
Go down to the bottom right.
We'll take you off. Just,
Oh, wait, now here we go.
there we go.
Switch cameras. No, I'm sorry. I can't get off. I'll just be on here now. I'll just close this and then you
There
can
you
take me off, okay?
Okay, all right.
Okay.
I can see your
Yeah,
foot.
we got your
You can
foot.
see your feet.
There's a leave. Yeah.
So anyway,
No. You want to stop
Oh.
the recording?
Yes, we don't need to
Well,
record.
press yes.
Well, that's what I'm getting ready to do, Jan.